Welcome to Horror Bois. It's a podcast on the internet. I'm Austin, joined as always by
Chris.
And together we are the Horror Bois. I changed my inflection there to make the intro slightly different so people don't just immediately skip it. Ooh. But did I also mention that this is an annual podcast on this old internet? No. My friends, this is a horror movie review podcast where every single week...
Almost every single week.
Weeks, we're going to review a horror movie. So yeah, I guess we'll address the elephant in the room. Yeah, no podcast came out last week. These last 2 weeks were rough. I had a lot of crap going on, and we're filming this really late. It's a good thing no one is currently supporting us on Patreon, so we didn't let anyone down currently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should talk about this movie because we're kind of going through this like Halloween franchise. So I think today we're gonna talk about I guess Halloween H20. 20 years later. Don't call it's a 20. Why would it be, Chris? Why would it be called Halloween Water? That doesn't make any sense.
Because this is the one where he becomes the guy from The Shape of Water, right? No.
Maybe he's
different movie.
Maybe he's afraid of water, like Jason in Only Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's afraid of water, and he's afraid of fire. That was about the delivery the main actress in that movie did.
Yeah, that movie did have awful acting.
I haven't decided if I'm going to make us rewatch that one. We are definitely rewatching the first 10 at the beginning of next year. Because the podcast has changed like 6 times over since we covered those movies.
Yeah.
Like, I'd already wanted to recover those because of, the change that happened by the time we started The Nightmare on Elm Street, half of that arc. But now, we have this little thing that I don't say, and I won't say. And it's not time for it, don't say it yet.
Yeah, it's not, and I won't.
Yeah, we don't need to overdo it. Some people might be complaining, might be saying, oh, we say that thing too much. But I just want to point out that I never say it.
He doesn't.
Except for those first 2 weeks where I did. But I haven't said it since. Because I'm a man of my word.
True.
And I will never say it.
Because before we even get to that, we got to talk about all the people behind the scenes of this movie.
Oh, yeah, because we really support people behind the scenes movies. And that's why, by the way, real quick, screw the AMPTP. It's time to meet. It's time to meet with the WGA and SAG-AFTRA.
It is.
Because I like movies.
It's long overdue.
Yeah, I like movies. And we're about to not get any anytime soon. Because we might still be having a couple that are coming through the pipelines from that were pre-made. But there ain't been any movies being made in the last couple months. Because the producers are being, in Horror Bois vernacular, big old buttholes.
Yeah.
So stop it, please.
Please?
Yeah. The director of this movie that we're watching today, or not watching. Well, I did watch it today, part of it, but that's not the point. Halloween H20, 20 years later, our director is Steve Miner of Lake Placid. House. That's the American one, not the Japanese one.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And, oh, by the way, he is also a Horror Boy alum for Friday the 13th, Part 2 and Part 3. You wouldn't know that if you listened to our podcast, because like I said, the podcast changed a lot since those first 10 episodes, which is why next year we're recovering them.
Yay.
I mean, I'm excited. Some of those movies are really... Even the movies that are really bad, I think are going to be really fun to do Horror Boys theater for.
It's valid.
Our writers are Robert Zapaya of Pray for the Devil and Matt Greenberg of the Pet Sematary remake and Mercy, alongside Horror Boy alum Mark Duplass of Creep.
Woo!
Which, by the way, number-wise, was the loser for sure of last year or this year's.
Only based on views, okay?
Yeah, only based on the only metric we have.
No real winner or loser.
No, it was. It wasn't me either, by the way. No, it was. Just make sure it's clear. I believe it was Isaiah. I actually don't remember. Right. I feel like he might have picked one that was obscure enough that no one watched it either. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It was just a joke. I was just making a little joke dig at Chris. I'm sorry. Let's move back on to the movie. Which is another person who isn't credited as a writer, but maybe probably should have been slightly. And you could definitely feel his influence throughout this movie. And that's Kevin Williamson, who was involved in various areas of production. Although not directly credited, he provided rewrites in character dialogue and helped make alterations and sketches of this? It feels like not the right word.
It does feel like not the right word.
And he also helped on the script.
Yeah.
But he is only credited on the movie as a co-executive producer. Only a co-executive. But, like, you get my point. He wasn't credited. Also, if you don't know, I guess I didn't mention, Horror Boy alum Kevin Williamson of Screams 1 through 4.
Yeah.
No. Screams 1, 2, and 4.
3. Yeah.
He didn't do 3, and that's why it's the worst of the franchise. And then we have our composer, which is John Ottman of Lake Placid, Gothica, House of Wax 2005, Urban Legends Final Cut, Orphan, and Eight-Legged Freaks alongside Horror Boy alum David Arquette of Scream through Scream 22. Also, he wrestles for this company called DKPW. You should go watch that on Twitch or YouTube, just saying.
Okay. Cool.
We also have our director of photography, Darren Okada of Lake Placid, Phantasm 2, and a decent amount of comedies, including Mean Girls. I guess that was the one I wanted to specifically highlight, but I feel like he was did a lot of director photography for comedy movies.
Interesting.
Yeah. Our production designer is Horror Boy alum John Willett of Final Destination and Freddy vs. Jason. Yay! Chris's favorite movie.
I mean, in the movie's defense, the production design wasn't terrible.
That's actually true. There was actually some decent production behind that. Our special makeup effects were done by Jeff Himmel of Hollow Man, Blade 2, Phantoms, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Infinity War, Endgame, Master of Disguise, and is a Horror Boy alum for Bride of Chucky. Also doing makeup, we had James McKinnon of Fast 5 through Fate of the Furious. That's 5, 6, 7, and 8 for those who don't know the Fast and the Furious franchise movie names, which is fair.
Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah, me too. I just know that, these both have numbers kind of in them. You have Fast 5 and their little clever Fate of the Furious. See, it has the word 8 in it, Chris.
Ah.
We have Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and 3 he also worked on, and American Horror Story. Oh, also he's a Horror Boy alum for Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, 2010. I mean, too bad the makeup wasn't bad on that. They just put too much CGI over it.
Yeah.
The makeup itself isn't bad. They just ruined the rest of the movie. I don't hate the movie the way some people hate that movie, but I don't like that movie.
Fair.
Oh, but also, most importantly, my boy, James McKinnon, also did the makeup for the first 7 episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then we also, lastly, working in the makeup department, or special makeup effects department, we have Thomas E. Suprenant of Quarantine, Crow 2, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, The Scorpion King, and a bunch of Star Trek, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Donnie Darko, X-Men The Last Stand, oh yeah, and most importantly, the last 20 episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We got the beginning and the end of Buffy the Vampire Slayer working on this movie. Our special effects coordinator is Horror Boy alum John C. Hardigan of Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman, Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and Freddy's Dead.
Your favorite movie.
That movie's so bad. But to be fair, I don't specifically remember the special effects being bad. There might have... I actually feel like there was some explosions that looked okay.
If there's anything that will be good in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, it will be the special effects.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sometimes that is it.
Also, I want to just something I realized when I rewatched, to make sure I see if we said something on a previous podcast. I just want to officially acknowledge that I know we said the wrong name for Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman, the entire review. I kept calling it Return, and no one corrected me. No one realized I said it. None of us cared enough to realize that. But it is Revenge, not Return. No one said anything yet, at least, because, we haven't got big enough that people are, going back. Yeah, but I'm sure at some point we will have a comment there, and I want some other, super fan to go, well, actually, they did address it in the Halloween H20 20 years later episode.
Yeah.
Put that on the Horror Bois wiki.
God.
Our stunt coordinator is Donna Keegan of Phantasm 3, Soul Survivors, Army of Darkness, Batman and Robin, Independence Day, and, weirdly, Mother's Boys, True Lies, House Arrest, Virus, Freaky Friday, Christmas with the Cranks, and You Again, all alongside Jamie Lee Curtis.
I was gonna say, those are all Jamie Lee Curtis movies.
Yeah, no. This person also did... I think they specifically did a lot of, stunt doubling for Jamie Lee Curtis, but they're also the stunt coordinator on this movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Our visual effects studios were Digital Firepower and Horror Boy alum Pixel Magic of Final Destinations 1 and 2, Scream 3, and Chris's favorite movie, Freddy vs. Jason. Also, something I'm adding here is our visual effects supervisor. Because, sometimes they'll say, studio names, but there will also always be someone credited as visual effects supervisor. And I decided I want to bring those people up. So, today we have the late Brian Jennings of the Super Mario Brothers movie, Mortal Kombat, Tales from the Hood, Leprechaun 4 in Space, Mimic, Phantoms, Cherry Falls, and is a Horror Boy alum for The Faculty. Which...
Well, I'm glad he's got one decent movie under his...
Oh, people love Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat
Not
Annihilation.
for the reasons that most people like most movies.
Also, I don't feel like anyone dislikes Mimic specifically. That's Guillermo del Toro's first American or English speaking specifically movie. That movie probably has somewhat of a fan base.
Mimic is a Guillermo del Toro movie?
Yeah. It was his first... I just watched a video from Dead Meat on one of his earlier movies called Kronos. And they mentioned that, that Mimic was his first breakout role into English speaking or American movies. Hollywood. That's what I think they said, which makes sense. Yeah. Also, The Faculty. Does its special effects fully hold up in 2023? No. Do they still hold up more than a lot of other movies we've covered? And it's from 98? Yes. Does it hold up 20 times better than Freddy vs. Jason from 6 years later? Yes. Or Texas Chainsaw 3D from 2013 somehow had worse special visual effects than The Faculty from 98? Alright, I'm done with my little rant. Now it's time for me not to say something, because I can't say it.
No, why would you?
I wouldn't. Are you going to say it, or are we just not going to mention it at all?
Mention what?
Well, you see, there's that thing I can't say. I'll say Horror Boys, and I'll also talk about going to the theater, but I would never be caught dead saying...
Oh, Horror Boys Theater?
That's the thing. We're not going to overuse it, guys. We will not say...
Horror Boys Theater.
Too much today. We will probably not say...
Horror Boys Theater.
Again. Why would we need to say...
Horror Boys Theater.
Again. Except for right now when we have to say that it's time for the...
Horror Boys Theater.
Breakdown. So we'll start with me, Austin, who will be playing John, Jimmy, Will, Sarah, Norma, Casey, Matt, Loomis, Waiter, and Ronnie. I know, I knew Chris was going to be mad. I'm sure Chris wanted Ronnie. But Ronnie does talk to Laurie more than he talks to John.
He does talk to his mom a lot. I mean, huh? Yeah, I mean, that's not really a spoiler.
Is
And
it?
I will be
Is that a
playing
what?
Laurie, Marion, Tony, Fitz, Molly, Charlie, Claudia, and Cheryl.
Yep.
Oh, wait, no, Ronnie's not. Hello?
Ronnie is LL Cool J.
Ronnie's the security guard.
I just had a feeling you'd want to be LL Cool J because he's LL Cool J.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you don't get to
fair.
be him because he talks to Laurie more than he talks to John. John being, Laurie's kid. Spoiler.
Yeah. That was John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
would have wanted to be LL Cool J in his really awesome fan fiction that he writes.
Oh, don't worry. He technically never said anything that is against Horror Bois rules, so I say pretty much all of what he says.
Yeah. Yeah.
We open the movie
anyways,
with Mr. Sandman by the Cordettes playing over shots of a suburban street in the fall. We see a woman carving a jack-o'-lantern. We then get a card saying we're in Langdon, Illinois. That's not right. Okay.
Interesting.
Right. As a car parks in front of a house. Marion gets out of the car. Marion is played by the returning Nancy Stevens of Halloween 1 and 2. We then get a date card that tells us it's October 28th. I actually think it might be 29th, and I think I wrote the wrong date down. 1998. The song comes to a hard stop when Marion steps on broken glass in front of her door. She sees her porch light is broken and very cautiously opens the front door. Once open, she hears the noise of someone inside and says,
"Oh."
Is that your Marion voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a real chain smoker. They don't explore that part of her character in the movie.
Actually, they really do, actually. She's always smoking, actually.
That is true, actually. I forgot, but that is...
This is like the third movie she's been in, and she smokes in all of them.
Yeah.
Marion walks over to her neighbor's house. She rings the doorbell and knocks on the door. To no answer. Marion hears clattering from around the corner, so she walks over to the driveway, where she's jump scared by the neighbor kid, Jimmy, in a hockey mask. Ah! Jimmy is joined by his friend Tony. Jimmy is played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt of Third Rock from the Sun, Looper, Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, Treasure Planet, and 50-50 alongside Horror Bois alums, stunt coordinator Scott J. Atia of Freddy vs. Jason, and Anna Kendrick of The Voices. Two of Chris's favorite movies.
Well, one of those is true.
Yeah, you're not really that big of a fan of The Voices.
No.
No, I said it. It's canon. Tony is played by Brandon Williams of Mystery Men and Never Been Kissed, alongside Horror Bois alums, makeup artist Kim Green of Screform and Jason Goes to Hell. Makeup artist of the movie, of this movie, Thomas E. Serpenant. I don't remember how I pronounced his name earlier, but I probably got it wrong both times. Jessica Alba of Idle Hands. Mary Shelton of Screform and Scream 2022. Sean Whalen of Idle Hands and Hatchet 3. Drew Barrymore of Scream. And David Arquette of, as we mentioned earlier, Scream through Scream 2022. Jimmy says, Hey, Miss Whittington? What's going on?
My house was broken into.
No poop.
No poop.
We cut to inside Jimmy's house. Tony says,
Hasn't anyone told you?
Something to your line.
Secondhand smoke kills. Yeah, but they're all dead.
And she blows some smoke at him.
Jimmy
on the phone says, Yeah, it's 4946 Cypress Pond. Okay, right, thanks. Jimmy hangs up and says, They said to give him 15 minutes, and they'll be by. Tony tosses Jimmy his hockey stick as Jimmy heads towards the door.
Jimmy, where are you going?
Check out your house.
No, wait for the police.
Where's the fun in that, huh? We cut to the three of them out front of Marion's house. Jimmy asks Tony, You coming?
Nah, I'd better stay here and protect it.
Oh, right, dude. Good. Jimmy steps on the broken glass before entering the house. As he starts to look around, Jimmy calls out, All right, let's not anyone mess with me here. Jimmy's been suspended 5 times this year already for getting a little crazy with the stick. All right? Okay. Jimmy cracks open a door to a room to check it before continuing his search. Jimmy walks into Marion's office, and when he sees it, absolute trash, he says, it definitely wasn't supposed to be who, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe it's O, and for some reason it swapped it for no reason.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Ooh, poop! He then heads into the kitchen. He opens the fridge and pockets 2 bottles of beer. When he's startled by the ironing board cabinet falling open. Poop! As he swings his hockey stick around, wildly knocking down some pots and pans, Jimmy heads outside and says, All right. Nothing to fear. The coast is clear.
You sure?
Yeah, I checked all the rooms. And all the closets.
And nothing's missing?
I don't think so. But they did a real number on your office.
My office?
Yeah, there's crap everywhere. Oh, and also, they messed up your kitchen bad too. Good night. Jimmy and Tony walk off.
So much for the cops.
Once she's inside, the lights won't turn on.
Perfect.
We cut to Jimmy and Tony walking up to Jimmy's house. We got beer!
Yeah.
We'll get messed up, man. I say we egg the houses across the street.
Shut up, dude.
Back to Marion's, who's at her office and sees a photo of Loomis on her desk. She also sees her file on Laurie Strode is empty.
Ah!
She hears a noise and leaves her office to investigate it. She sees that the front door is wide open. As Marion closes it, we see Michael down the hall behind her.
Ah!
When she turns around and looks down the hall, there's no Michael. Oh. But her back door is now open. She sees a shadow on her fence and runs out the front door and goes into Jimmy's house. She heads into the living room and finds Jimmy with a skate stabbed into his face while Plan 9 from Outer Space is playing on the TV in the background.
Yeah.
She runs to the back door and Tony's there, but he's actually dead! Ah! And he falls over onto Marion, knocking her to the ground. Michael rounds the corner and enters the doorway. Michael grabs a knife and pursues Marion into the living room. We hear the cops arrive outside. Marion gets a jump on Michael and swings something at him, knocking him down. Michael grabs her ankle as she turns away. Michael stabs at her feet, but she moves out of the way. We cut to the cops as they walk up to Marion's house. Cop 1 is played by John Cassini of Seven and Man's Best Friend, alongside Horror Bois alums Lance Henriksen of Scream 3, stuntman and actor Rick Barker of Nightmare on Elm Street 3, 4, Freddy's Dead, Wishmaster, Scream 2, where he was Ghostface, and Scream 3. Stuntman and actor Ray Likens of Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and Reanimator, and New Line Cinema owner Bob Shea of Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Freddy's Dead, New Nightmare, and Freddy vs. Jason.
There you go.
Cop number 2 is played by Jody Wood of Mimic 2. Which is the sequel to a Guillermo del Toro movie.
Yeah, but it's not a Guillermo del
Not to
Toro
my
movie,
knowledge, at least.
I think.
Yeah. Marion tries to get their attention, including breaking the window, but she gets her throat slit before the cops have a chance to hear her.
Yeah.
The cops notice the broken window and think it's another B&E, and we see Michael drive away. Where did I leave off? There we go. We cut to later when the detectives, Fitz and Matt, are investigating Marianne's house. Fitz is played by Bo Billingsley. Billingsley. Of the Blob remake. And Leprechaun 6, Back to the Hood, alongside Horror Bois alum, makeup effects artist Gabriel Bartalos of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and Jason Lives. Matt is played by Horror Bois alum Matt Winston of Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Matt asks,
Am I Matt?
I
don't remember.
I don't remember. No, you're Fitz. I'm Matt.
Okay, I'm Fitz.
Okay, I gotta think of a Matt voice.
I mean, he's only like in this.
Hey,
scene,
Chris,
so.
they don't know that yet. It kind of feels like these characters are going to be important to the plot. They're not. I just feel like the way they're set up, they're like one of the second group of people we're seeing, and like they're getting these whole scenes, and you're like, oh, are these going to be like characters we kind of like follow here and there throughout the movie? No, we don't. They're in this one scene. So, whose house is this anyway?
Marion Whittington, Dr. Sam Loomis's nurse. It was that shrink that died a few years ago. He lived here. She took care of him.
Oh, I remember him. I saw a thing on 60 Minutes on him. Spent his life checking down that Halloween guy who butchered all those kids in Haddonfield, right?
Michael Myers.
Right. Hey, you don't think Michael Myers?
They never found his body.
Yeah, but that was like 20 years ago. They head into the office. Who talks after we head into the office? Is it
That'd
me?
be you.
Is it? Okay. Obscenely me!
Loomis was obsessed with Michael Myers.
I'm sure it's me, but I gotta find it.
This is quite a love fest.
This is quite a love fest.
I'll call up to Haddonfield and warm him up. Warn him even.
There's no way, Fitz.
Just a precaution. Tomorrow's Halloween.
All right, you tell him to look for a guy with a cane and Alzheimer's. Ha ha ha! I don't actually laugh in this scene, but I should.
That guy would be younger than I am, okay? I was 15 when he was killed. When he killed his sister back in '63.
Fitz picks up his phone and continues.
Yeah? Fitzsimmons. Patch me through to Haddonfield, please. Yeah?
Michael Myers. Yeah, right. And he closes the office door behind them. And that's the only last time we'll ever see those characters.
Sure.
But I will say that I do think one little, just, as I like to do, I like to tell my thoughts as the movie goes on. Because that's just, this isn't like my big thought, but I will say, the fact that the biggest plot hole in this movie is kind of explained away with, just like one person going, "Are you sure?" It really, like, where was Michael for 20 years? Like, I'll spoiler from at least when I rewatched it the first time. I actually like this movie more than Halloween 2018. But I respect that movie at least makes it make sense how Michael could come back. He was, in custody for 40 years. I have no idea where was Michael for the last 20 years. There's no answer. And it's not the end of the world. You can suspend your disbelief and just go back to enjoying the movie. But it is a thing where if you do think about it for like half a second, you go, wait a minute, that makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm done complaining about that one thing. Because it's really not that important in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, it is and also is not.
It is a big part of the movie, but it's not something that it's not something that personally it affected me more than just going, that's weird. Alright, back to the movie.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't really think about it until you said it just now.
Yeah. And now you hate the movie because of it?
No.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No, but it is a huge plot hole.
Yeah.
And it does not make any sense.
Yeah,
we'll continue.
we then get our title card over shots of the bulletin board. Our credits play as we get more shots of the bulletin board. with some narration from Dr. Loomis. Dr. Loomis is now played by voice actor Tom Kane of a lot of Star Wars shows and video games, including Star Wars The Clone Wars. He also worked on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Kim Possible, Powerpuff Girls, The Wild Thornberrys, alongside Horror Bois alum Danielle Harris of Hatchet 2 and 3, Victor Crowley, Halloween 4 and 5.
There you go.
Loomis says, should I do actually, I have to do like a slightly different voice because he didn't.
Yeah, do a slightly different Loomis.
I met him.
That's still just Loomis.
I met him. Is that a little different? A little higher, right? A little higher in the register?
Yeah.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding. Even the most rudimentary sense of life and death. Of good or evil. No right or wrong. That's the next line.
Yeah.
I jumped to the line above it. I met this 6-year-old child with the blank, pale, emotionless face, and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. Bum bum. One of the shots of the bulletin board shows a news clipping saying, Laurie Strode died in a car crash. Then why is Chris voicing her?
It can be real crazy.
We cut to a killer POV shot in a hallway. Bum bum. And this hallway, it looks kind of familiar. And not because it's been shown in another Halloween movie, but no, because I guess this is our first filming location, Horror Bois alum, the Paramore Estates in Los Angeles, which is used as the Hillcrest Academy in this movie, but was also Milton's mansion in Scream 3, and every other shot when they're in certain air rooms, you're like, oh, that's just the whole climax of this movie is the same exact place as the climax of Scream 3.
Yeah, it sure is, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's the exact same building. And they shoot it in slightly different ways, so it's not it doesn't feel exactly the same. But spoiler, when there's a certain character who comes down a hallway and gets shot, just saying that hallway is also the same hallway that I forgot her name. The fake Sydney, the actress who played Sydney in Stab, when she runs away in the end of Scream 3, she's like, I don't have to do this. I didn't play harmonica with the producer to get this. She runs down that exact same hallway to leave.
Oops.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's nothing. It's nothing against this movie. It's just it was one of those I know this location. It's weird now. No, I saw the other movie first. That's Milton's mansion. You're wrong. Why are they doing school in Milton's mansion? That doesn't make sense. Unless maybe he bought it after it was a school.
Oh, well, historically speaking, that would make canonically more sense.
But actually, it doesn't make any sense because he had that same house since the 60s or 70s or whatever when her mom was in Hollywood. Because there was that underground screening room. Oh, dang it. Is that enough? I guess that is a reason why these two movies can't be in the same universe. Let's hope they don't try to make them in the same universe at some point. That would be weird.
That would be weird. Yeah. So anyways, the POV shot continues down the hall
into a classroom.
Into a classroom.
It walks behind the desk, and we see a picture of a boy and the nameplate that reads, Headmistress Carrie Tate. That name doesn't mean anything to you guys yet. Don't worry.
Yeah. Who is it?
The POV shot walks over to a clock with a calendar on it that ticks over to midnight, and the date changes to October 31st.
Halloween.
That's the name of the movie. Plus water, plus 20 years later.
Yeah.
Then the POV shot heads over to a closet with louver doors. It looks inside, And we cut to some shots of the original movie of Michael breaking through the slats on the Louvre doors Laurie was hiding behind. I looked up what the name of the type of doors were. It's Louvre.
No.
It's probably actually like Louvre because it's French, and I think ER. I don't think you pronounce the R. I don't.
So it'd just be Louvre?
It might just be Louvre. Are these just the Louvre doors? This is the art museum doors?
Yeah, probably.
Is that spelled Louvre? Probably. I don't. Maybe it's T you don't pronounce at the end of words. I don't know I'm sorry. I took 1 week of French, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for disappointing everyone. I can count to 5 still, and that's about it. And say, like, je m'appelle, which just means my name is. I know a lot of important things. My name is, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pretty much I'm fluent in French, guys.
It's a little bit strong. So anyways.
No, I think we should stick on the me knowing French bit. Then we quickly cut back to a POV shot of a knife stabbed into the photo of Carrie Tate's desk. Oh no!
It's Michael! Well, why? Carrie Tate?
We don't know that yet, officially. Because the POV shot turns to the chalkboard where Laurie Strode is written. Why would that be written here?
Huh?
Oh, we then cut to a woman waking up screaming. That was all a dream. And the woman now known as Carrie Tate. But we know her as Laurie Strode. And also,
that's right.
I'm only going to refer to her as Laurie from this point forward.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Laurie is played by the returning Jamie Lee Curtis of Halloween 1 and 2. The boy from the photo comes running in. It's Laurie's son, John. John is played by Horror Bois alum Josh Hartnett of The Faculty.
Yeah.
Which both movies came out like the same year. Like this was his like breakout year of like 2 big, and they were like the first movies he had like ever done, like first things he really done in Hollywood were these 2 movies the same year back to back.
Dang.
Yeah.
And for one of them, he had a terrible haircut.
I don't remember what his haircut was in The Faculty, so it might have been bad in that too. I know, but it might have also been bad in The Faculty, honestly.
No, yeah, that's fair.
It was the same year. It very well might have been the same haircut.
Probably was.
John asks, I guess now he's just he is obviously is it Dan Kane? Was that his name? In Reanimator?
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah, Dan. It's just bruh, because that's all he is. That is what her son is in this movie. Oh, where's my line? Oh, here it is. Mom! 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 Laurie finally stops screaming. You're supposed to be screaming during that whole line, Chris. Thank you. John asks, "You okay? You alright?" Laurie grabs her head and replies,
"Oh, yeah. Yeah,
yet.
please."
Nope. Just oh.
Oh.
Everything's okay. It's okay. Do you need something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, please. Thanks. It's okay.
John heads to the medicine cabinet and looks through the many pill bottles for the one that helps with nightmares. We get a card
good old
telling
nightmare medicine.
Huh?
Said, good old nightmare medicine.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure. To be fair, due to like a line later about him saying that one of their medicines is out, which is not a medicine that helps with nightmares, this might be a medicine that he's getting her that side effect is nightmares. I'm not sure. All he says is nightmares, and pulls out a pill bottle that we don't see what it says on it. So, but it's also the bottle he pulls out isn't empty, and he later says. So I think this is a medicine specifically to help nightmares. Probably to counteract a different medicine she's on that gives her nightmares.
Maybe.
Or not. Or she's just, scarred and traumatized from her hard life 20 years ago. Move on.
Yeah. So anyways, we get a card telling us that we're in Summerlin, California.
And a card telling us it's October 31st, Halloween!
Yeah, in case you forgot from like 5 minutes ago.
Well, that was a dream.
That
never actually happened.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. It turned to Halloween in her dream. There was never a card saying that we were actually in Halloween. She could have just been having a nightmare about Halloween. This could still be the 30th, because the last date we saw was the 29th. But we actually don't see any of the 30th.
It's true.
John says, I'm making toast.
No, not for me, thanks. Caffeine is not a good group. Caffeine is not a food group.
Yeah. It's also not a good food group, if it was a food group.
Yeah, it'd be a terrible food group.
We're out of Percodan.
Got mail. It's from your dad.
John takes the envelope. He opens it and says, birthday card.
It's only 2 months late. I'm impressed.
Cash is good. I'm gonna need it when I go to Yosemite.
You're not going.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. And with your full blessing. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because today is the day. I can feel it. Today is the day that you're going to realize that I'm 17 years old. And your overprotection and paranoia is inhibiting my growth process.
Want to go camping? I'll take you camping.
I don't want to go with you!
Sorry.
Dad would let me go.
Well, Dad is an abusive, chain-smoking methadone addict.
Who would attract someone like that?
Ouch.
And just think, he left you.
Look, John, I know you got your smart mouth from my side of the family, so I'll give you a break. But point check, you're going too far.
No, I'm going to Yosemite.
No, you're not.
Look, Mom, help me out here. I need a little more open air. I've earned it. Look, I know today is the day, but I think that
Oh, really? What day is that, John?
Halloween.
Oh, I hadn't noticed.
Look, Mom, we're through with all that. We really are. John walks away, and we cut to John walking to class with his friends, Charlie and Sarah. Also, I just want to point out that little dialogue exchange there, so Kevin Williamson. It's not like his best work by any means, but it's definitely a situation where I go, that seems like Kevin Williamson's snarky dialogue.
Yeah.
You can tell he was part of the dialogue writing process of this movie, even if he is not officially credited.
True. Very true.
Cut to John with his friends, Charlie and Sarah. Charlie is played by Adam Hann-Byrd. Sarah is played by Jodie Lynn O'Keefe of The Crow 3. And she's all that! Alongside Horror Bois alums Anna Paquin, Usher, Freddie Prinze Jr., Clea Duvall, Tim Matheson, Eldon Henson, the late Alexa Arquette, the late Debbie Lee Carrington, Sarah Christine Smith, and National Treasure Matthew Lillard. You're Charlie.
Am I Charlie?
Yeah. Because I always, if there's a group of 4 people, if I'm one of the boys, you're the other boy, and then we're the opposite's girlfriends.
Yes.
To make dialogue make the most sense.
You know what you're becoming? You're becoming an Oedipal enabler.
Hey, real quick.
You know that?
I respect that you're going with like someone who's my friend, but do you not remember the weaselly little voice this guy has?
You know what you're becoming?
Yeah, you can choose to go with like the surfer dude, and I'll respect it, but I just want to say you have a chance to be super Weasley dude, because he is super Weasley, and it's honestly kind of laughable that he was able to score this chick he's with how much of a loser he sounds like. I know that's coming from me, who's like no one, and like I've never had a girlfriend. I get it. I'm taking shots at people who aren't me, but you get my point. He's a loser. I don't know why he's in this friend group. The other 3 of them are all kind of cool, and he's kind of a dweeb.
Is a bit of a dweeb.
All right, I'm sorry for It's up to you. You choose which voice
You're
you want.
becoming an Oedipal enabler. You know that?
Now I have to remember where I was before I cut you off.
John replies, "Thank you."
Oh, thank you.
I'm serious. 20 years from now, you're still going to be living with her. Probably running some weird motel out in the middle of nowhere. And that is a Bates Motel reference. Or,
What?
Well, Psycho reference.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, no, it's actually a reference to the show Bates Motel, which came out in 2013.
Yeah.
It might be 2011 or whatever, but still, the point is it's way after this. Now, Sarah asks even, my Sarah voice. So, this means no Yosemite. Correct. Now, how do I get out of it?
Why don't you want to go?
Oh, it's so lame. No, it's worse. I went there 2 summers ago with my family. Loathsome. No, it's worse. It'll come to me. Wretched? You know? Okay, think. She trails off, getting quiet. Also, once again, this is the most Kevin Williamson dialogue ever. No human being talks like this. I like it. It's fun, but no human being talks like the way this sentence is. She trails off, getting quieter as we cut to Laurie looking out a window, and she sees Michael in the reflection. Thank you. So she closes her eyes to make the hallucination go away, and it did. It worked. It's gone.
Yippee!
Back to John and his friends. Sarah says, "Repugnant! That's repugnant. I would rather have my eyes pierced." John walks over to his girlfriend Molly and gives her a hug. Aww. Molly is played by Michelle Williams of Species, Venom 1 and 2, Shutter Island, and Kevin Williamson's Dawson's Creek. Hey, what's wrong?
My dad. He flakes on my financial aid again.
That's what it is. That's what she says. I don't know what that word.
The bursar's being a jerk. Now I can't go to Yosemite.
You're not going either?
No.
I'm not going.
Are you gonna get out of it?
Please.
Hey, hold on. We did Yosemite. It means we could have a Halloween party, just the 4 of us. The whole place would be empty. We'd have the run of it. Could have a roaming musical festival.
I will give a quick shout out. Dad decided if I was going to do or not. That was a line that my dad came up with. The musical festival to replace the word that we can't say there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, I liked it. I respected it. I think I don't remember why. I had something similar. Like I don't remember what exactly I went with, but it wasn't that. But I respect it. I respect it. Little clap to superfan Jeremy.
And Sarah says,
what a sigh. I love this man, thanks.
I hope that's not the only thing you love about me.
It's definitely not your voice.
Yeah.
Charlie and Sarah walk away. Molly and John share a quick kiss before following them. We cut to Highway 139 in Northern California. We see a car driving up to a rest stop with a mom and a daughter in the car. The mother's name is Claudia, who is played by Larissa Miller. The daughter's name is Casey, who is played by Emily Thompson. You are Claudia. I am Casey.
Alright. Hold on. Okay. You see, I told you we'd make it. When I was a little girl, we used to pee in the woods.
As they walk over to the building with the bathroom, we pan over to see the car Michael stole in Illinois with a messed up front tire. They walk up to the girls' room, but the door won't open.
Don't worry. Come on.
They walk over to the boys' room, and Casey says, "Mom, it's the boys' room."
Then the boys are just gonna have to deal with it.
Claudia opens the door.
Hello? Okay. Coast is clear.
The light won't turn on, so Claudia puts a rock in front of the door to keep it open.
I'll be just next door. Mom's gotta go too.
Mom!
I know.
We hear the door slam closed. Mom!
It's just the door, Casey.
Claudia sets her purse on the ground, and she goes to pass tissues under the door to Casey.
Here's some tissues. Casey?
After an extra second of tension, Casey grabs the tissues. A hand grabs Claudia's purse. Claudia looks through the crack and sees Michael. Imagine if she saw someone else, like, oh my gosh, it's Freddy. Like, why is he here?
That'd be very bizarre.
What's the Babadook doing here?
The Babadook.
Do they have family drama?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Well, Casey's a brat.
Statistically speaking.
We have no reason to think Casey's a brat. This little kid's a brat, won't pee in the woods like a grown girl.
Everyone knows how to pee in the woods.
Yeah.
Unless you don't.
Then you need to learn.
Yeah.
Michael stops. And you think, oh shoot, Michael's about to kill a kid and her mom. But he turns to leave. Aww.
Yeah. He just needed a new car.
Yeah, while all this happens, Casey is just humming Mary Had a Little Lamb, not knowing the danger she was in. Claudia very slowly unlocks the door before rushing out when she hears Casey scream, ah! But Casey's just screaming, spiders! But then she hears a car start and peel out. Claudia heads outside to see that Michael has stolen her car. We cut back.
He didn't steal her life.
Yeah, that's true. We cut back to Milton's mansion. Sorry, Hillcrest Academy, where Laurie is speaking at an assembly.
All right, ready? You know why you're here. The buses leave for Yosemite at 4:15 sharp.
The students cheer.
Now it's time for me to do my obligatory plea that you uphold the standards of Hillcrest. That means no musical sleeping bags.
That is, just want to point out, that's an actual line, not a Horror Bois-ized one.
It is just a straight-up line in the movie, yeah. Laurie continues. No booze, no drugs, no kidding. And undoubtedly someone will ruin it for the rest of them. So I just want to remind you that the entire teaching faculty has...
She trails off as we transition to paying attention to Charlie joining his friends group. Charlie says,
Hey, guess what this is?
"What?"
It's my history report. Forgot to hand it in. Guess who's not going to Yosemite? I'm so bummed.
Oh, guess who has a fever of 102 and has to stand by all weekend long?
Need some company?
Oh, you shut up, you dirty little boy. She doesn't say that, but she should. I really like that voice that I do for her, so I might add extra lines every time she talks. Sorry if you actually haven't seen the movie and get confused. But to be fair, I do label this podcast on YouTube with a comedy tag, so we gotta throw in some jokes of our own.
No jokes allowed.
Oh.
Just kidding.
And then Michael shows up and he slaughters them like animals.
No,
Because they're
not really.
animals.
So John
And
asks...
not just the men, but the women. And the children too.
Well, actually,
I hate them!
historically speaking, not the children.
I'm referencing the greatest movie of all time, Star Wars Episode 2, The Clone Wars. I enjoy
That certainly is one of the movies
It
of
is
all
not
time.
the greatest movie of all time, but it is honestly up there for one of my favorite Star Wars movies because I have so much fun watching it. Is it terrible? Yes. Do
Yeah.
I love it? Yes.
So John asks...
John asks, like, why the sand is so rough and cold? Oh, sorry, we're not just doing... This isn't...
No.
Oh, we're not doing the Star Wars Episode 2?
Nope.
Is that next week?
Nope.
Oh, was that last week and we had to cancel it?
No. That was never in the books.
Really, you can't even yes and me on the week that doesn't exist?
Nah.
You're terrible at improv.
That one we actually had to
We had a horror movie, you know, we've been wanting to cover.
We were gonna start the Conjuring franchise in the middle of the Halloween franchise. Now we have to push it to 2032. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
It was so
I know
close.
you've all been looking forward to it.
We were so close. We were gonna start doing 2 a week, but then we weren't able to start it last week. So sorry, no Conjuring for you.
Looks like it's never gonna happen.
Whoa. In 2035, we'll think about it.
Yeah. We'll consider it. So then John asks,
I have to now remember where I was.
at the bottom of the page.
So, what's the plan? That's the wrong voice. That was a little bit almost Sarah. Oh. So, what's the plan? Romantic dinner, kind of like soft music.
And animal music.
Now respond to yourself. That's Molly.
Oh, yeah.
You need a hormone suppressant.
You're embarrassing the newlyweds, Charles.
That's it. Have a good time.
Says Laurie.
Guidance counselor Will Brennan walks up to Laurie in the hall. Will is played by Adam Arkin of Lake Placid. Will asks. I would have to be Will, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And why aren't you going? I hate that. That's not Will. No. I don't know if you know what voice that was, but it's definitely not Will.
He's very much got a voice similar to that one guy from American Pie. It's a very monotone, nasally
Okay.
thing
Why
going
aren't
on.
you going camping, Miss Tate? That's a little too southern, but we're just gonna go with it.
Because it sounds like fun. And you, Mr. Brennan?
Guidance counselors aren't usually a big hit in the wilderness. Besides, somebody has to stay behind and watch over 3 or 4 outcasts. Norma walks up to Laurie and says, "Oh, good morning, Miss Tate."
Morning, Norma.
Norma is played by the late Janet Leigh of John Carpenter's The Fog and Psycho.
There you go.
Norma says, "Your mail and messages are on your desk, along with the new quarter budget. And oh, surprise, surprise, the drains in the girls' shower room are clogged again. But Can I talk to you alone for 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
I called the plumber, and he assured me he will be here as soon as he can."
Thank you, Norma. Thank you very much.
The second they close the door to Laurie's office, Will goes in for a kiss. I don't know why I sung that, but I did. Laurie pulls away
Yeah.
and says,
Wait. Place of employment.
"I'm sorry, I just needed a fix." Laurie kisses him again. "We still on for lunch?"
Uh-huh. 1 o'clock.
You are, without a doubt, the most amazing, challenging woman I have ever met. And what's wrong now?
Can you just stop with the carry analysis just once, please? You can do it tomorrow all you want, but please, can I just have today off?
Whatever you want.
Thank you.
Lunch. Don't forget.
1 o'clock.
Will leaves. And Laurie looks over the photo of John on her desk. We cut to the guard shack. I don't feel like I said who played Michael.
Michael Myers?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he technically was in the reflection of a shot.
He literally killed Marion.
I guess he did also kill a woman in the beginning and 2 kids off screen.
Yeah.
Well, 2 teens.
I think somehow I didn't write it down. Okay, so
Doesn't look like you did.
I'm going to pull that up on IMDb just because I feel like I don't want to disrespect whoever played Michael.
Fair. And while we're talking about Michael, I will bring up that the elephant in the room, for anyone who is very, visual, in that, yes, Michael's mask in this movie does look really goofy and silly.
What are you talking about? There's 4 different masks. Which one are you talking about?
Yeah, all of them.
That's fair. I don't really mind them, honestly. Except for the one,
Yeah,
which we won't get to that one.
Michael when he gets hit and he gets really angry.
Yeah, I don't mind that. The one I really mind is the one. You know which one. We won't mention it yet.
I don't know if I do know which one, because they all look really goofy to me.
The ones when we get to it, you'll be like, oh, okay, that one.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, and where is Michael Myers? Michael Myers. I don't know why
It's played by
Chris Durand, who I definitely wrote this down at some point, but I didn't get copied over. Who I definitely want to mention because Chris Durand is a Horror Boy alum because he plays it's Ghostface in Scream 2.
Oh,
Which means he does hang out. He could have technically been Billy's mother. Or he could have been Mickey, the one who says that.
Yeah. Could have been either.
Could have been both of them.
Very low.
You never know which scene
was.
who's who. Alright, so now that we've said who's Michael.
Laurie says 1 o'clock. Will leaves and Laurie looks over a photo of John on her desk. We cut to the guard shack. Security guard Ronnie is on the phone with
Ghostface! Wait, no, it's his wife Shirley, who he calls Cheryl. Ronnie is played by LL Cool J of Deep Blue Sea and nothing else. He's not like a singer, like a rapper or anything. He's in Deep Blue Sea and this. Pretty sure that's his whole career.
I don't know if that's exactly correct.
I'm the one who wrote it down, so I think I know what I'm talking about.
All that we have time to cover right now. Sorry.
Cheryl is played by Lisa Gay Hamilton of The Boogeyman. The one that just came out last year or this year. Might have been this year. It's like a adaptation of a Stephen King book.
Stephen King novel, yeah. The Dark and the Parents in the Dark.
Thank you.
That's the Boogeyman in a nutshell for anyone wondering.
And don't worry, we are covering. I believe the Boogeyman is on the schedule for at some point. I have no idea when.
2030.
It's probably 2029, but yeah, basically. Ronnie says, "What's my Ronnie voice? What does LL Cool J sound like? I'm not cool enough to be LL Cool J."
Yeah, you don't have cool in your name.
Ah, shoot. You think I have time to go legally change my name?
Probably not.
Oh.
It is 2 a.m. Peek behind the curtains.
Fine. I'll just say I really don't know what voice to go with. I really didn't think this through at all. I have 4 voices. I've done most of them. Maybe he sounds like an old man. Maybe that's the choice I'm making today.
Would be a choice for certain.
He turned just in time to see her enter the room with her long
bottom jeans,
slender legs that climbed high up her skirt, leading to 2 tumultuous, round melon breasts.
Round melon what? Now, why do you want to label it like food? What kind of melon are you talking about? Cantaloupe? Watermelon? What?
Baby, it's fiction. Please. People like to read descriptive adjectives. It sets the scene.
It's stupid is what it is.
It's musical and romantic.
Ronnie, it's unrealistic. This whole writing career is unrealistic. Hey, we're married now, baby. We gotta get serious.
This is serious.
Honey, I've been patient, but this writing thing just ain't taking off. And I want a baby before I get so old that I can't get my butt back. I don't know what that means.
You don't?
Apparently your butt falls off when you have a
No,
baby.
it just means you're not in as good of shape, so it's gonna be harder to get back.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And also your butt falls off.
No. No.
Oh, Batman. Butt back.
You
Ronnie
gotta
says,
give me a chance, honey. I have to express myself creatively. We paying the bills, aren't we? Ronnie gets tapped on the shoulder by John and yells, "Ah! What was saying to me? Boop!"
what?
Not you, honey. Hold on for a sec. Ronnie turns to John and Charlie and says, "You scared the poop out of me." "Oh, sorry, Ronnie. I gotta ask a favor, man." "I'm not letting you out of here." "Oh, come on, man. Just for lunch, please." "Look, your mom told me the next time I let you loose, I was gonna be fired. I can't go back to retirement, son." No, that line's not actually there. Sorry, guys. "Look, man, I got a date with Molly tonight, and I want to make it special. What do you say?" Ronnie shakes his head no. "Look, I promise I'll be back for afternoon classes, huh? I want to get a gift. Come on, man. Have a heart." Ronnie takes a moment before saying, No, I can't do it." "Oh, come on, man. Okay, how about this? You accidentally press the gate. Mm-hmm. And when you have your back turned, we sneak out."
Honey, don't you get your butt fired.
Ronnie puts the receiver up to his chest to muffle Cheryl. Ronnie says, "Don't you do me wrong." "Not a chance, man. Cool. LL Cool J. That's you."
Oh, no.
"No, my name's Ronnie. All right, get out of here. Come here, you whippersnapper." I wanted to say the comb your hair part of that was actually in the script. It just really works for this voice.
It does.
Ronnie starts talking to Cheryl again. "There's one more book. There's one more. I promise I'll work with your daddy. All right?" The boys sneak off into town. We cut to Main Street. Laurie parks her car and starts to walk down the street on a shot that really reminded me of the original movie with her walking in the neighborhood. It's kind of the first time I noticed that this movie really, which I don't have a problem with it, because I think they do it well enough. This movie really likes to pay homage to the original.
Yeah.
There are a lot of like lines or like ways certain scenes go. You're like, oh, okay, you're just literally recreating the original, but slightly different. And I respect it because they do it well. You gotta make sure it's not like was it Halloween or not Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street 2010, where we're gonna do the same thing, but like it's gonna be trash.
Yeah, the same thing but worse.
Yeah, this is the same thing but different. Not better or worse, just it's different. Probably slightly worse because it's not John Carpenter's Halloween, but that's not the point. She gets jump scared by some screaming children who run past her. Laurie stops in front of a store to look at some jewelry. She sees Michael's reflection behind her. She turns to see it was just a hallucination at the same time that Will walks up behind her.
Oh, Jesus, Will.
I'm sorry. I thought you saw me.
No.
You see me now? She kisses him. How are you doing? We cut to them inside the restaurant for lunch. Will is drinking a coffee. Laurie has a glass of Chardonnay and is staring out the window. You want to talk about it?
I think I'm losing John. I think he's finally tired of my bull poop. How about you? You tired of my bull poop?
I'm a counselor. I'm attracted to it. I like
So-
feces.
That's disgusting.
I have a.
You should see somebody about that.
There's a word.
But you
for
should
it.
counsel me first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? Wait, no. I mean, I would never do that or something. Where's my line? I lost my place.
Oh no, I know better.
Oh no. I know better. I love you just the way you are.
Do you think it's possible that something so tragic can happen to somebody that they never recover from it?
I like to believe that recovery is always possible.
There's a little backstory I haven't been completely successful with.
I know.
I've tried everything. I really have. I've tried everything. 12 steps, self-help, group therapy, shrinks, meditation, everything.
That's not everything.
Oh yeah? What else is there?
I'm a really good listener.
Maybe some night by a warm fire.
I'll be right back. He gets up and leaves. I just felt like so like abrupt. Like it didn't feel that abrupt in the scene, but the way she's like, maybe someday by fire, I have to go. I have to take a poopy because I like feces.
Yeah. That's Will.
That's
Yes.
me, Will. I love fecal matter.
And Laurie waves the waiter down, and asks, "Can I get another glass of Chardonnay, please?" The waiter
glances down
does
at her
glance
completely
down.
full glass.
Yeah. Laurie says, "Today,
Yes, ma'am. This is one line.
thank
so
you." It's fair.
Yes, ma'am. Laurie says thank you. Laurie then downs her glass of Chardonnay. She gives
Yeah.
the waiter the empty cup and says,
Thank you very much.
the waiter is played by David Blanchard. We cut to John, waiting outside the store. Charlie comes out and shows him a bottle of what I presume is wine in his coat. God, I can't believe we're doing this.
Desperate measures. Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Desperate measures.
It's illegal.
It's harmless and expected. Studies have proven that all teenagers at some point in their adolescent lives have shoplifted.
What studies?
These studies, hey, we could have avoided this whole thing if you had simply scored some of your mom's booze.
Look, my mom's a functional alcoholic. She accounts for...
John, Charlie, what are you doing here?
Oh, just getting a little off-campus lunch.
You're not allowed to have a little off-campus lunches, John. You know that too. Or you know that. And you too, Charlie. Sorry, Mrs. Tate. Don't hurt me.
It's coffee.
Come on, I'll drive you back. And you know what? Charlie, here, go get in the car. I'll be right there. What the obscenity do you think you're doing?
Mom, I'm really uncomfortable with you saying that word.
Well, then don't put me in the position, John. Do you know what the day is? Or do you know what day it is? Of all the days for you to pull this poop, what do you think you can do? Just wander around town? I don't ask for very much. Just give me one day.
Mom! I've given you 17 years!
And I need you to be responsible. Do you know what that means?
Responsible? Don't talk to me about responsible. Mom.
The whole time there is like people walking around and like glancing at them and just like
Which is, it's just nice. It's a nice thing to see.
yeah. Shout out to the extras in this scene. I just need one thing.
Mom!
Nope.
Yeah?
Oh, no, yeah.
I'm not responsible for you! Do I have more in this line? I do.
That's it.
That's
enough.
it! That's enough! I can't take it, Mom. He's dead. Michael Myers is dead.
What do you want me to say?
That it's over. That we should try to get on with some attempt at a happy existence, Mom. Because all the poop that's going on in your head is leaking out on me. And I can't take it anymore. You told me yourself. You watched him burn.
I didn't exactly stay to see his ashes, John.
Mom, 20 years. 20 years. Don't you think he would have shown up by now?
Yeah, don't
What's
you?
he waiting for? Huh? Okay, Mom, I can't live like this. I'm sorry. John starts to walk away.
Laurie asks, what does that mean, John?
If you want to stay handcuffed to your dead brother, that's fine. But you're not dragging me along. Not anymore. John walks away. We cut to Laurie, starting the car. And Mr. Sandman by the Cordettes is playing.
Ah!
Laurie turns off the radio and drives away. As she drives away, we see Michael in Claudia's car follow behind her.
Bum, bum.
Michael drives past the school not to draw too much attention. Ronnie doesn't answer Laurie's honks or yells, so John gets out to investigate. Ronnie comes over. After some shouting from John, Laurie asks,
Where the hell were you?
Norma told me. That's a little bit even different of an old man voice now. I'm sorry. I forgot what voice I was doing for an old man style. So here's this one now.
And where were you when these two got out?
I wasn't even done with my line yet!
Having
Gosh
Alzheimer's,
darn it, woman!
forgetting your own voice?
You think no, you're not gonna interrupt me! Norma told me to walk the perimeter! Now you say to think about your kid, where the kid...
And where were you when those two got out?
I'm gonna look down defeated now.
Eyes up, Ronnie.
Okay. After they drive away, Ronnie says, psycho! And he closes the gate. We cut to Molly working in the kitchen in a scene to establish the kitchen has a dumbwaiter.
Yep.
Also, we see that John sent flowers for Molly down the dumbwaiter, as well as a hand-drawn map.
Ooh.
She follows the map.
Or was it from John? It was.
I mean, I
It
guess
is.
it's true, we don't know.
Yeah, you don't know in the scene, and you're like, oh my gosh, did Michael learn how to draw?
Pause. No, wait. We have no trouble believing that Michael can drive, but drawing is where we draw the line.
Those are two different skills, Austin.
But he became evil at 6. That's a skill he actually would have already had.
I don't know.
I don't know when he learned to drive.
Most 6-year-olds I know are kind of terrible at drawing.
They're better at drawing than they are driving.
That is true.
But you're right. I guess it
Historically
could be Michael's drawings, but maybe they're too good. But maybe
You've never seen him draw.
Also, it's been 20 years. Who's saying he didn't go to art school?
Me. I am, actually.
Well, I'm saying he did.
I'm dying on that hill.
And I'm dying on the hill that he did. So we've come to an impasse. We're both dead.
So we were going to continue.
No, I'm not done. He went to art school. He went to Juilliard, actually. That's an acting school, but he went there anyway.
No, I don't think he did.
You're right. He didn't get accepted to Juilliard. He did try. It's really hard to get to Juilliard.
It is. And he's never been to high school, so doesn't really have the credentials to go to Juilliard.
Maybe he got his GED during these 20 years.
No, I think he's been dead. Was resurrected by the magical cult.
No, that's a different movie, Chris. That's a different timeline. Whoa,
Thank goodness that's a different timeline.
That never happened. But also, technically, that also means 4 didn't happen, so that's sad. I want to live in a timeline where 4 did happen, and this movie happened. So, like, she faked her own death and left Jamie, but went off with this other kid, John.
No, it didn't happen.
No, it did. I've decided it did.
No.
That's my personal headcanon. It's Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween H20, Halloween Resurrection, and Halloween 2 Rob Zombies one.
And then Halloween 2018.
No, I don't like that one. But Halloween Kills? That's in there.
Well,
I'm
I
joking.
do like the first Halloween 2018.
I don't dislike... We'll get to that when we get to that, but spoiler. The first time I watched it, which my opinions have changed many times on a second watch, I thought it was okay. And I was hyped up to believe it was like the savior of the Halloween franchise, finally a good one. And I was like, it was alright. That was my thoughts. But, you know, maybe on a rewatch, I'll like it more. Or I'll hate it more. Both have happened.
I feel like the first is more likely to happen.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think it's that bad of a movie.
I
don't
never
think
said it
it's
was
a
bad.
bad movie.
Well, I
just
never said it
generally.
was bad. I just thought it was fine. I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't specifically care about it. It did nothing specific for me to make me enjoy it.
But we're not talking about that.
No,
movie today.
actually we are. Thank you
Oh.
to tuning into Halloween H20, where we actually talk about Halloween H40.
We cut to Molly working in the kitchen,
Yeah, and she gets a little piece of paper and it says Michael drew it.
and she follows the map, and it's not Michael who drew it.
We
It
don't
is
know
John.
that yet. We don't know that yet. We don't.
And-
I'm actually just trying to find my spot in the place now.
She follows the map and,
And
gets
gets
jump scared by John.
jumping out and telling her, the best part. He turns on the light to show that a room has been set up for their Halloween double date. Do I get points? Or what?
Or what? Just kidding.
What?
You scored.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna score?
No.
Oh.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can work with that. Sorry, guys. It's 2:15. I haven't had dinner and I'm a little loopy.
Yeah, we gotta get this done so Austin can eat food.
Pretty much, yeah. Da 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 da. Well, it just occurred to me today that I've never celebrated Halloween before.
And why is that?
I was expecting that much enthusiasm. We've got a psychotic serial killer in the family. Loves to butcher people on Halloween. I just thought it was in bad taste to, celebrate.
So why now?
Because there comes a point in your life where you have to concentrate on what's right about it.
Really?
And you are a sterling example of what's right. And tonight, you get my full concentration. Well, you and Charlie and Sarah. They're also going to be there.
Honored, I guess, now that you've mentioned the other two.
Oh, you want to kiss?
Yeah, I guess.
They kiss for a bit before we get to Laurie teaching the class. Cut to even. Not get to. It should have been cut.
Very good point, AJ. So what Victor could have done to save Elizabeth?
Nope.
To save
Try that
Elizabeth.
again.
So what could Victor
No, it's
have
what.
done
It's so what.
to save
Yeah,
Elizabeth?
I don't remember. It was weird, really weird in there, but Victor was weirdly placed in it. It might have been so. I don't even know. Who cares? I think it's so. What could Victor have done?
That is what I just said.
So John starts to make silly faces at Molly.
Anybody at all? Come on, people. Did anybody read the book? Guys, it's Frankenstein. Could have watched the movie.
Molly looks out the window and sees Michael in a scene reminiscent of Laurie in the original movie.
Molly, please, do you have any thoughts on Victor and Elizabeth? Well, I think that Victor should have confronted the monster sooner. I mean, he's completely responsible for Elizabeth's death. He was so paralyzed by fear that he never did anything. It took death for the guy to get a clue. And why do you think he was finally able to confront his monster? I think that Victor had reached a point in his life where he had nothing left to lose. I mean, the monster saw to that by killing off everybody that he loved. Victor finally had to face it. It was about redemption. It was his fate.
The bell rings, and Laurie dismisses the class. Laurie calls John over to her. What? He actually does come in pretty aggressively. Like, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize their last scene ended on such a way that he was going to come in that aggressively.
They did yell at each other for a minute.
Yeah, but they both kind of ended it not yelling. So for him to come in back like, what? Gosh, my mom and my teacher have a question to ask me, maybe? I'm like, you don't know what she's calling you over for yet. Maybe she's calling you over to apologize, and you're just immediately snapping at her.
It is thundering outside my house. Speaking of which, Laurie does hand him a folded piece of paper and says, "It's a permission slip. Bus leaves in 45 minutes. Go pack quick."
Ma, I don't have to go.
Go.
Let's go.
Just go.
Let's just go.
Have fun.
Oh, you sure?
Yes.
Oh.
Look, it's good for you. It's good for me. So just have a great time.
No, so just call me. You jumped a line. It's good for me, so just...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I did skip a line. So just call me. You know, call. And call. And if you feel like you called too many times, call once more. Have a great time.
Thanks, Mom. He turns away and immediately drops the fake smile. He meets up with Molly in the hall.
So what was that all about?
She changed her mind about Yosemite.
So now you're going?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. And he crumples up the permission slip.
Whoa!
We watch as the buses leave for the camping trip as Laurie looks on from her window. Laurie runs outside and watches as the buses turn onto the road. As she turns around and is jump scared by Norma.
Little old lady.
Oh, dang it!
Oh, Miss Tate, I'm so sorry. I guess I think I was a little southern. I don't remember. I just had a really small little
I didn't
mouse
mean to make you jump.
Yeah, I'm so
Something
sorry.
like that.
I didn't mean to make you jump.
It's okay.
Well, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare. Remember when Sheriff Brackett said that in the first movie? That's why I'm saying it now. Remember when he
I've
said
had
that
my
to you?
fair share.
Remember when he said that to you? You know how I would have no way of knowing that? That's definitely not a common phrase, but for some reason I'm saying the exact same words to you. It's not like later when you say the same words to your kids that you said to different kids. This one actually makes no sense. Miss Tate.
Thank you for all that, Norma.
I know it's not my place. If I could be maternal for a moment, I
No.
like to see you like... I don't like to see you like this.
Oh.
And this line
What?
is funny because, as we didn't mention earlier, because if you're wondering, it was on purpose because I wanted to say it for this point. Janet Leigh is actually the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis. So that line about, should I get maternal, is a total meta joke. They made this woman, who is her mother, say that.
Wonderful.
Norma continues. I've seen you like this before, and we've all had bad things happen to us. So get over it, Missy.
That's not what she says.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to say. The trick is to concentrate on today. What
You
do I
just
know?
Take
You
care of
just take
yourself.
care of yourself, okay?
I don't recall asking you. I mean, thank you very much. I'll see you on Monday.
Norma starts to walk away and says, "Oh, Miss Tate, happy Halloween."
Bum bum.
She then leaves in the exact model of car from Janet Leigh's most famous role in Psycho. Because did you know this movie was somewhat involved with Kevin Williamson? With all these on-the-nose meta references right here? Also,
Yeah.
did you know her name is Norma? Which is, the female version of Norman, the main character from the movie she was in?
Psycho. Norman Bates.
He kills
Other
her in the
reference?
shower? I think. I don't know if, actually don't remember if Janet Leigh is the woman who dies in the shower, or if she's the, secondary heroine who, because, Psycho is very famously, spoiler, if you haven't seen Psycho from 1963. But very famously, they, the main lead woman you start getting to watch dies in like the first 30 minutes. So I don't know if she's the woman who dies in 30 minutes or if she's the woman who dies after. Because I haven't actually seen the movie. I just know a lot about it because I like horror history.
Fair.
But yeah, so she drives off in her exact car from Psycho.
And we see that down the road, after the buses pass, Michael, who's parked on the side of the road, started driving towards the school.
Bum bum.
Ah!
We cut to the guard shack where Ronnie says, she took off her clothes, around her setting herself to femininity. And Lawrence looked down with lust in his eyes and said, I want to invade every part of your being. I want to tantalize myself with your sweet nectar.
Tanya better not fall for that poop. I smell that a mile away.
And Tanya laughed at him. You don't expect me to fall for that poop, she said.
That's right. Make her smart. That's it.
Oh, poop. Honey, someone's here. Can I call you back?
Oh, no. Hold on. I want to know what stupid line Tanya falls for.
The same one you did. Hold on a second. He goes up to the gate and sees the car Michael stole running right outside the gate. But no one answers when he calls, so he opens the gate. He goes over to check the car, but it's empty. And as Ronnie's checking the car, Michael walks behind him and then just goes inside on the ground of school. Ronnie turns off the car and closes the gate. He heads back into the guard shack. He picks up the phone and we see Michael outside the window behind him.
Bum.
Hey, honey.
What's up? Where'd you go?
I don't know.
You don't know where you went?
Oh, no. No, actually, I'm only answering when you ask me what's up. I ignored the rest of what you said, woman. So shut up.
You take your Alzheimer's medication?
What? Are you my daughter? Why am I reading my daughter nasty little fan fiction? What the crap's happening in this world, man? What's my actual line?
I'm your
I need
wife,
my
you
reading
idiot.
glasses. Does anyone have my reading glasses? Now, my obscenity. Where's my gosh darn spot?
I don't know.
Honey,
some
where'd
part
you
of the
go?
gate.
Honey, where'd you go? I don't know. Wrong one, actually.
No, that was right.
No, but I was looking at the wrong I don't know. I said I don't know in a couple lines. Some car at the gate. I'm gonna have to call you. He puts down the phone and heads over to see the car's headlights turn off. He then closes and locks the door by the gate while leaving the one behind him completely open.
Yeah.
Ronnie
Good thing he locked the one door.
Yeah, Ronnie picks the phone up and says, "Hey."
Wait. What's going on, baby?
I don't know. Michael accidentally taps the window, so Ronnie turns around, but Michael moves away before being seen. We hear Cheryl say,
Honey, Ronnie, you always obscenity to do with this. You get me going, and then you gotta go. Right.
That's it, because the phone line has been cut. Ronnie walks outside. We cut to Laurie, packing up in her office. She heads outside and starts to walk to her on-campus housing. On-campus housing!
Disgusting.
She looks behind her and sees Michael walking towards her. Whatever. Right? It's not on-campus housing, right? Oh, wait, no, I mean,
True.
Michael's walking behind her! She closes her eyes because she thinks it's a hallucination. But he's still walking to her when she opens her eyes. So she tries again. With the same results!
Is Michael real?
So she closes her eyes once again and gets started by Will. And, well, Michael's gone. So I guess maybe that was a hallucination? Will
Maybe.
says, "Oh, I keep scaring you today. What are you doing?"
Nothing. What are you doing?
"I'm making the rounds. I still have to check on the kids, but I was hoping I would have the honor of spending the evening with you tonight."
I'd like the company.
Give me 20.
Okay. I'm okay.
She heads to her house. Will sees a figure in the shadows and calls out, "Hello!" We cut to Molly in Sarah's room, where they're watching Scream 2, which causes a big old paradox, because somehow Halloween exists in the world of Scream, and Scream 2 exists in the world of Halloween H20.
Yeah.
There is no way to make this make any sense. It is literally impossible. It is a paradox that falls in on itself if you think about it. It was obviously some cute like little thing like, we got Kevin Williamson working on this. Let's throw in. This is, Halloween's answer to the post-Scream teen horror movie. So let's make a reference. Let's throw Scream 2 on the screen. It makes no sense. It literally, Scream is in a world where Halloween is a movie. You can't then have Scream 2 be, and it's not even like you go, oh, maybe, like, there's no way to make it work. There's none at all. Like, it's just, Will knocks on the door. And they invite him in. Sarah. Molly. Just checking on the Hillcrest remains. You girls okay?
Good. Thanks, Mr. Brennan.
Hurry up, Mr. Brennan. Looking kid as ever. Thank you, Sarah. What are you two up to tonight? Well, we thought we'd head to town, and then I make a really insensitive joke that really doesn't land at all. I don't know why to even say that. It's really like, we can't even really say the word, and it's like, actually kind of offensive. And then Will says, "Oh, sounds good.
Care to join us?
I can't. Oh, I can't. Sorry. I can't. I'm having my nipples pierced.
Oh.
But you two have a good time with that very offensive joke you made.
Will do.
If you need anything, contact me or Miss Tate. Okay?
We won't. I mean, thanks, Mr. Brennan.
Right after he leaves, they rush to leave as well. We cut to the teens sneaking into the building where their setup is. We cut to Laurie, who pours herself a very heavy glass of vodka and then downs it very quickly.
Yeah.
This is at least like a double, probably a triple, that she is
she's
shooting back like it's nothing.
speed running alcoholism.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, it sounds like, according to the way John was talking earlier, she's not speedrunning. She's taking her time at it. She's doing it very frequently, very often, and very well.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's drinking that drink. She drinking that drink, and then Will knocks on the door, so she lets him inside. He has a pumpkin and says, "I thought we'd do this right." We cut to Sarah and Charlie in the kitchen. Oh, I love food. I really do. I really don't mind if I get really big and dumpy it's my goal in life.
Oh no, I always found obesity very sexy.
Oh, God, you are so renaissance. They take a bunch of food.
Yeah. These two are meant for each other.
They really are both terrible.
Yeah.
They go to join John and Molly in the room set up for their date. Oh, the buffet has arrived.
For your pleasure tonight, we have prepared Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday Hillcrest dinner selections, ignoring Meatloaf Monday and Turkey Tuesday. Because that sucks.
Now it's Molly's turn.
Thank you very much. I hate that meatloaf.
Where's the booze? And why didn't we make the turkey? I want to eat turkey. I love turkey.
That's you.
We need a corkscrew for that.
No, I'll go get it. Just don't start anything without me. You know, the roaming musical festival.
Don't worry. That's just the line. We cut to Laurie and Will making out on the couch. Woo!
And Laurie says the very romantic line,
I'm not who you think I am.
Okay.
Wait.
Who are you?
My name's not Carrie Tate.
Ha ha. What is it?
Laurie Strode.
Ha 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 ha. Strode.
Strode.
Okay.
Stop laughing. It sounds unnatural. I changed my name when I went into hiding.
Oh, I like that. That's like the witness protection program. What did you like rat out the mob or something?
My brother killed my sister when she was 17.
Wow. Well, that's sucky. How do you do that?
With a really big, sharp kitchen knife.
That's terrible. Take off your clothes.
Was not expecting the complete robot delivery.
I wasn't either, but it kind of just slowly happened, and now I've just embraced it.
You said you'd listen.
I lost my place. Okay.
Okay.
They locked him up for a long time, but he got out and he came after me. But I got away. But he killed a lot of my friends. It happened.
On Halloween.
On Halloween. You've heard the story before.
Who hasn't? Michael Myers. It's like 20 years ago. They made a movie about it. I know there's this guy, Jamie Kennedy, who watched it in a movie called Scream. Have you seen Scream? Because Scream 2 exists in our world, so that means Scream 1 exists. I have seen all movies. They have been imported into brain...
Huh? 1978. And the girl that...
And the girl that... What happened to the sister? She died, right?
No. She faked her death. Now she's the headmistress of a very posh, secluded private school in Northern California.
Say what?
Hoping and praying every year that her brother won't find her.
You're telling me the truth.
Now do you want a drink?
I cannot drink liquids. They will hurt circuitry. But I will
I'll
say
be right
yes
back.
for social reasons.
Okay.
She comes back with a bottle of vodka.
Explains a lot, doesn't it?
So you have been living with this for 20 years.
Something like that.
But honey, you don't think that after all this time he'd still be coming after you, do you?
God, you are just the worst.
I am.
He sat in a
I
sanitarium
am designed for
15 years.
pleasure.
Terrible design, if I could say. Waiting for me.
I
and
will
then
exterminate.
one rainy night, he decides to go trick or treating.
Exterminate. Exterminate or impregnate are only two modes.
So how old were you?
So how old? What? That's actually the line.
How old were you? Is the whole line.
How old were you?
And Laurie sees John's birthday card and says, because it also says,
17.
What?
Do you think they made it to Yosemite? Do you think they're there?
I don't know.
I just want to call Johnny. But
she stops when she picks up the phone, and the phone line is down. What is it? Carrie, what are you doing?
My name's not Carrie. I just told you this. My name is Laurie Strode. But my phone's dead.
Oh. She goes to John's room, and his phone is also not working, confirming to her that the whole line is down.
Poop.
And she runs over to the closet, where she sees John's camping stuff is still there. She heads out into the land. The hall, even. Will asks, what is going on?
Somebody didn't go to Yosemite.
I will follow you into the room and ask, what, Carrie, what are you doing?
I told you my name's Laurie. And she pulls a gun from under her pillow and says, I'm just gonna go find John.
This is not nuts and bolts.
I hope so.
She opens the door and gets jump scared by Ronnie. Laurie says,
Ronnie, the phones are out.
I know, and there's a strange car parked down at the gate, but I can't seem to find any signs of trespassing.
Obscenity.
Okay, there's no reason to get upset yet. Let's just go into calm down mode.
Look, I'm gonna go look for John and the kids. See if you can get the phones working. We'll meet back at the gate, okay? Come on.
We cut to Sarah entering the kitchen. She says, Charla! Charla? Where are you, Charla? We are waiting. I'm now also a robot. No.
No, stop mixing your voices.
I'm sorry. All my voices have the same rasp in the back of them. It's the only thing I have to differentiate other voices. Whoa, what are you, Charla? And consider it part of one. Your table's ready, Charla. Charla. Back up!
And Charlie sneaks up behind her, grabs her, saying, Surprise! Gotcha!
You perp!
No, I'm Charlie, actually. But I found these. But no corkscrew.
Come on, I'm hungry. Where you going now? Charlie opens the dumbwaiter and says,
To see if there's a corkscrew upstairs. I'll be right back.
he sends himself up as Sarah says, Charlie! We follow Charlie as he looks around for a corkscrew. He finds one, but knocks it down the drain in the sink. He turns on what he thinks is the light, but it's actually the garbage disposal. He turns that off and sticks his hand into the drain to fish it out the corkscrew. Michael walks in behind Charlie. After some tension, where they want you to think Michael's going to turn on the garbage disposal, I guess, Charlie pulls out the corkscrew and turns around to see Michael. This scene has Michael in his CGI mask. So apparently, there were 4 different masks. In the first scene, there is a mask made by Horror Bois alum, the late John Carl Buechler of Hatchet, Friday the 13th, 7th, Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator, Night at Elm Street 4, Freddy's Dead, Halloween 4, and 6. The initial mask was made by the K&B Effects group of Robert Kurtzman, Greg Nicotero, and Howard Berger, who have done way too many movies to bring them all up, but I'll highlight Wishmaster, Scream, The Faculty, and most recently, Halloween 5. And it can still be seen in some long shots. The main mask in the movie is made by Horror Bois alum, the late Stan Winston of the Friday the 13th 2 and 3. The K&B mask was replaced by the Stan Winston mask through reshoots for most of the movie. Lastly, for this one scene, we have the awful CGI mask that is covering up the K&B mask because they didn't get the shots needed in reshoots. And there is your history of Halloween H20's masks.
Yeah.
And this is the one that I would say that
terrible mask.
I honestly don't mind any of them except for this one. This is the one where I go, the CGI mask is so bad. It is so badly done. Like, in general, here's the thing. When it comes to literally the first one and the most recent trilogy are the only ones with good masks. Like, yes, it'd be cool if Halloween masks were good in all of them, but they're not. Like, Halloween 4 is my favorite movie. The mask is terrible. Like, I don't care about masks. Like, Michael's mask doesn't matter to me. But this one scene completely takes me out of the movie because I'm like, it's like a digital picture moving around trying to match where he is.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Charlie says
Hi.
to Michael. We cut back to Sarah. The lights flicker off and she finds the door locked. She heads over to the dumbwaiter and finds Charlie's corpse with his throat ripped open. Ah!
Oh no, no more Charlie. Oh, it's tragic.
She turns around to see Michael. She gets in the dumbwaiter and is hitting the button to send it up. Michael gets one slash on her leg before the door closes. Once upstairs, Sarah starts to get out of the dumbwaiter, but Michael cuts the rope, crushing her leg in a pretty good-looking effect, honestly. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The way it looks. We cut to Molly and John hearing the crash of the dumbwaiter. Did you hear that?
No, I'm deaf, actually.
Oh, cool.
I mean, yeah, what was that?
Am I still gonna get the score if our friends are dead?
No, probably not.
Oh, dang it! I'm gonna go check on those guys, and they've been gone for a while. But don't worry, even if they're dead, I'm gonna say they're alive because I still want a scar.
What do you think they're doing?
Probably scarring. I mean, kind of reeks of a cheap scare, doesn't it?
Let's go.
I mean, if you come, then I can't lie to you. Tell them they're fine. All right, yeah. We cut back to Sarah crawling on the floor. She sees Michael enter the room and says, upset of it! She tries to scoot away from him, but Michael has no trouble catching her. He puts his foot on her neck to hold her still and lifts his knife into the air and repeatedly stabs her in the back. Molly and John enter the kitchen. Hello?
Maybe they just skipped to dessert.
Haha, you're talking about harmonicas.
Maybe.
You want dessert now? No? Okay.
No.
Alright. Oh, there's a trail of blood!
Yeah.
Why am I Sarah all of a sudden? And they fall into the pantry, where they find Sarah's body strung up on the from the ceiling with like one light, I guess. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's sparking. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like a broken bulb with the fuse exposed.
Sure.
Shining
Yeah.
for some reason.
They head out of the pantry, and Molly sees Michael and asks,
Who's that?
"Let's get out of here."
No, that's not what I asked, actually.
No, run away now. Outside, Molly stops, and John says, "Come on."
John, please. Oh, God. Oh, God. What the obscenity are we going to do?
Gosh, I have to explain everything to you. We're gonna go to the dorms, and we're gonna call the cops, okay? Come on. They start running again. Michael grabs Molly. John runs back and punches Michael until he throws Molly to the side to deal with John. He shoves John down and stabs him in the leg. Molly grabs a rock and knocks Michael down by hitting him in the head. Molly and John run away. Michael gets up and pursues them. Molly struggles with her keys and opens a gate door. Michael has closed in somewhat during her struggle with the keys. She drops the keys and can't reach them. Michael is very close. Molly pulls her hand back in right as Michael gets in swiping range. Michael puts his arm through the gate door and swipes the knife at them. "Somebody open the obscenity door!" Michael stops swiping at them and picks up the keys to unlock the gate. They both are screaming in fear. I'm scared? You have to be really deep voice, remember? Thank you.
Yeah.
Laurie opens the door and gets John and Molly inside. The door is closed just as Michael gets through the gate. Then there's this really cool shot of Michael and Laurie looking at each other through this porthole style window.
Porthole.
Yeah. It's really cool looking. I really respect the cinematography here. Laurie looks down to grab her gun, and when she looks back up, Michael's gone. Dun, dun. I like to think that he's just like turned so she can't see him.
I like to think that he's just like crouched underneath the porthole.
That's funnier. I like that more.
He just went.
She can't see me right. His hair is still popping up.
I'm not you guys.
If I can't see her, she can't see me.
That's how this works.
I'm Michael. You want to see me draw a map? I can't.
I can do it. I promise.
I could drive. I could drive from Illinois to California in a day and a half, but don't ask me to draw.
That's too hard.
I've never drawn. This is all the talk. It's all in his head, you know.
What happened? Oh, God. He's stabbed. Can you walk?
Yeah.
Laurie, Will, and John and Molly head up the stairs they're next to.
Who was that?
My brother.
Laurie finds a closet and tells John and Molly.
Get in there. Barricade the door and lock it. Do as I say, now.
They close the door. All right. What do we do now? What do we do?
Try to live.
What is living? They head into a
Whatever
hall.
the opposite of what you're doing now is, actually.
Okay, I will turn off now.
They head into a hall, and at a window, Laurie says, "Go."
I am still in sleep mode. Would you like me to wake up and read dialogue?
Yes, please. Jesus, please.
Okay. What?
Jump. Go.
Carrie, I'm not leaving you.
I'm not leaving John.
Will sees a shadow approaching at the end of the hall and takes her gun and shoots 5 times, with at least one connecting. They go over to the shot to see he shot Ronnie, not Michael. They both say some variation of,
Oh, no.
"Oh no, oh God, what did I do?" For a while, Laurie puts her hand in a puddle of blood. "I thought,"
Will!
she yells because Michael is right behind, and he stabs Will in the gut and lifts him off the ground with his knife. "Oh no, he is getting my power swords." Laurie runs away. She runs to a closet, smearing blood on the door, and says,
No obscenity.
We cut to Michael in the hallway. He sees the bloody handprint, and he starts stabbing through the door. But Laurie walks up from behind him and knocks him out with a fire extinguisher. She runs over to the closet John and Molly are in, and they head outside and get in the SUV. Michael is pursuing them. The SUV won't start, but then it does start, just as Michael gets to them. You know, the classic horror movie moment. They drive away. At the gate, Laurie gets out of the gate.
Miss Tate, come on. Go. What? Go. I want you to drive down the streets to the Peckers. It's a mile down the road. Tell them to call an ambulance and get the police. No, we're not leaving you. Do as I say now.
Mom.
I'll be right behind you.
Mom.
I'll be right behind you. Go.
Molly drives off. Oh, cool. I don't have to talk anymore. I mean, it really is just Laurie who talks at this point. Character-wise.
Yeah.
Laurie... Oh, no. I take that back. Laurie closes the gate behind her.
True,
behind
actually,
them.
yeah.
She then takes a rock and smashes at the control panel. Laurie grabs a fire axe and heads back up the hill.
Laurie yells,
Michael?
She heads back into the main building where Ronnie was shot, still yelling.
Michael!
She rounds the corner to the hall. Michael was shot in, and from behind her, Michael lowers himself from the ceiling with one arm, like a ninja.
Yeah.
He's had 20 years. 20 years. He's done some ninja training.
Guess so.
He drops down with a thud. So Laurie turns around and brings the axe down into his shoulder. Michael slices her on the upper left arm, like he did in the original. What?
Yeah, which they do call attention to when she has the scar on her left arm in bed.
Oh. Look at Chris paying attention to random little small details that I didn't notice.
I know things.
Laurie runs off and heads to the cafeteria. Michael takes the axe out of his shoulder and follows her. We see she's hiding under the tables, rolling from one to the next, trying to stay hidden. We then pan up.
Which lasts for just a little bit too long.
Yeah, we pan up. What?
Oh, the whole her rolling under the tables scene.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Which will, I'll talk about the pacing of this movie in like a minute when we're done talking about this movie. We then pan to show Michael is standing on the table above her. He tries to swipe at her, but she evades him and distracts him by pushing down some chairs so she can crawl away. Now off the table, Michael starts flipping tables while following the scurrying Laurie. Laurie grabs a flagpole, flying the California state flag, and stabs Michael in the chest, impaling him. She then runs back upstairs and heads into the kitchen. She throws knives towards Michael. She grabs a tray and blocks a stab with his knife. She then kicks him in the groin, which seems to anger him more than hurt him, and he shoves her to the floor. She grabs 2 of the knives she threw and runs away. Michael pursues her back into the hallway, where she jumps out from behind a curtain and stabs Michael repeatedly and pushes him over the banister, where he falls to a table below in the cafeteria. By God, he's broken in half. How do you learn to fall off a 20-foot banister?
Yeah.
Laurie understandably assumes that this isn't enough and heads downstairs to make sure he's dead. She takes the knife sticking out of his chest and raises it up, but before she can bring the knife down on him, a still alive Ronnie comes in and stops her, saying, "He's dead! He's dead! He's dead! He's dead!" Ronnie drags Laurie out of the room. We pan from Michael's foot and see him lying there lifeless. Kind of like a cross position. I don't know if they're trying to, make some sort of Jesus symbolism with Michael, which feels weird, but it definitely feels like his arms are spread out very cross-like. But I don't see how you make the connection between, when Superman does it, I'm like, he's the savior. When Michael does it, I'm like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
So then
we
pan from Michael's.
After we see him there lying there lifeless, we cut to later as the cops and ambulances are there. Ronnie on his phone with Cheryl says, "I got it. Hey, baby, I'm gonna write a romantic thriller."
What?
Thriller, the song with Michael Jackson. I'm gonna write a book about it.
I love you, and I love Michael Jackson's Thriller.
I love you too, baby. Yeah, I'm fine. The bullet just grazed me. And also, I hope Michael Jackson never does anything that will make us regret saying we love his song Thriller. I'm sure he won't.
Yeah, that sure would be unfortunate.
I'm sure there's not already allegations about to come out around this time frame.
Probably not.
That would be really awkward.
It would be incredibly awkward.
Why are we still talking? Our scene's over.
Sure is.
Laurie watches as Michael's body is being put into a body bag. Laurie grabs the axe and steals a gun from a cop and points it at two cops.
Don't move.
She turns her attention to the coroner's van and says,
Load him in. Shut the door.
She hops in the driver's seat and drives off with Michael's body. Michael starts moving, but when she looks back, he stops. Or he just happened to stop. I don't know if it was supposed to be on purpose or not. Then, once she turns back to the road, Michael starts moving again. She sees it in the rearview mirror. He struggles for a bit before he opens the bag and sits up. Laurie speeds up, and when Michael lunges towards her, she slams on the brakes, sending Michael through the windshield.
Come on. Get up.
Michael sits up on the road and looks back towards Laurie. Once he stands up, Laurie guns it and crashes into him and takes the van off the side of the road and down a hill. She tumbles out. Michael lands in front of the tree and is then crushed into it by the van after it's done rolling down the hill. Laurie gets up and grabs the axe. She walks in front of Michael and says,
Michael?
Michael looks up at her. Then he starts grabbing at his mask.
Michael? Michael?
He looks at her and reaches out his hand. Laurie starts to tear up and reaches her hand out towards his. But then she realizes that this is Michael. And then she cuts off his head as the Halloween theme starts playing and we head to our credits.
Yeah.
That's not my page. That's my mom's.
And that is
Halloween
H20.
20. And yeah, okay, so what are my thoughts? I like this movie. I don't love this movie. And I know you'd think I would, because it's my favorite subgenre of horror is the post-Scream teen horror. And I'm trying to figure out why this movie for some reason just doesn't work for me. And I think the simple answer is, as much as I'm Mr. Make your movies shorter because I don't want them to be longer, this movie's too short. All these other movies that from the same genre that we've watched, at least, you got The Faculty, or I don't remember which one's which. One of them's The Faculty and I Know What You Did Last Summer are both 140, 141 minutes. Scream is 2 hours. They're trying to go for that same style of movie, but this movie is an hour and 26 minutes. You're missing minimum 14 minutes to get to that level of style they're going. It just doesn't have enough. It kind of just starts, you kind of meet some characters, and then they just die immediately. I don't know. I can't really quantify exactly what specific elements it's missing, other than just I think it's because it's too short. It's trying to rush a formula that is built for a minimum hour 45-minute movie into an hour and 26-minute package.
Yeah.
Like, I still like it. I still think it's good enough. Like, I enjoy it. It's definitely in the top half of the Halloween films for me. But it's not as good as I want it to be. I want this movie to be great. Because I love the style of movie this is trying to be. But it's just not good at being that.
That's fair.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah. I would say I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. I didn't really know anything about this movie going into it, aside the fact that it had Jamie Lee Curtis in it again. But, yeah, like, pretty much all the acting in this movie is pretty solid, except for, maybe Charlie and Sarah.
To be fair, Sarah isn't actually as bad as we portrayed her.
But they are playing characters, yeah.
Like, I would even argue
And-
Sarah just kind of is just a chick. Like, she's not good or bad. I chose to make her, I don't know, that character doesn't even have a name, but it's the character who hates Baka!
Yeah. But yeah, no, I would agree that the pacing is very weird. They do have a lot of exposition, and it's very slow paced for like the first hour of the movie.
And then everything
And
happens
then
in
it
20 minutes.
Blows, it's proverbial,
Harmonica sound.
Yeah.
You blow into the harmonica.
You blow into the harmonica for the last 26 minutes, and it's just not long
Well, 20
enough.
minutes, because the last 6 minutes are credits.
Oh, true. Yeah, it is a very short climax.
Yeah.
Everything happens all at once.
Literally, Sarah is killed with 21 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, people don't really start
27 minutes if you
buying
count
off.
credits, but I don't, because for the sake of what happens in the movie.
You're right. But yeah, it feels very rushed at the end. It'd be nice if it was a little bit more drawn out and we had a little bit more of like an actual climax. But aside from that, I did actually enjoy this movie quite a bit.
I think another good example of like to show how this movie is shorter. In general, our podcast notes are 14 to 15 pages. This is 13. Like, it shows like there's movies just it's short. It's missing something.
Yeah.
And I can't quite quantify exactly like what it's missing, personally at least. Like, yeah, it does feel like a little rushed, and it's not just like the ending feeling rushed. It's just in general, everything kind of feels like it's missing a little bit. But
Sure.
next week, we're going to talk about Halloween Resurrection. Michael got his head chopped off. What's happening next?
Yeah, not really looking forward to figuring out how they retcon that one.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't retcon. What's a retcon? I don't retcon anything. Yeah. But yeah, this movie is hated. It's considered like by most people one of the worst two in the franchise. It's like this and 6 get the argument for which one's the worst.
Resurrection?
Yeah. People
Or
people
H20?
Resurrection.
Okay.
The one we're watching next week. Resurrection. People hate Resurrection. I will say, I love Resurrection. Love is strong. I really like Resurrection. I think Resurrection falls into, spoiler, the Jason X style of movie. So don't go in expecting art, but go in expecting to just have a fun time, and I think you can.
We'll see.
That's what I personally felt when I watched it the first time. Or maybe go into expecting to hate it. Maybe that's why I enjoyed it so much. I don't know. Actually, it's terrible. There's no redeeming qualities. You think Hey guys, I'm whispering so he can't hear. You think he bought that?
I did not buy it.
What? No! Crap! Thank you for tuning into this podcast. If you like it, 5-star review on any podcast app you use. If you want to support us directly, patreon.com/horrorboys. I forgot to mention before that. I know in between those, I normally mention YouTube. If you want to see our pretty little faces, head on over to youtube.com/@horrorboys. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Probably. I mean, we weren't back last week, so I mean, we told you next week. I don't know. We'll see. We should be back next week. I don't have as nearly as crazy of a week coming up, so we should definitely be able to get the podcast out. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. I've been Austin. I've been joined by Chris as always. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye.